Hey everyone, today we're in Romans 11. Did you all know that Romans is the longest is the longest letter that Paul wrote? That's just amazing. And there's so much in here. It's so wonderful. And did you know that God is jealous for our hearts, guys? God is jealous for us. In a good way. He longs for us to be with Him and know Him and deeper. Just study His Word and be with Him. And you guys know that, right? Oh man, so wonderful. So, at the end of chapter 10, we see that Israel's being disobedient. And so, in the beginning of chapter 11, we see Paul writing, I asked then, has God rejected His people? By no means, for I myself am an Israelite, a descendant of Abraham, a member of the tribe of Benjamin. God has not rejected His people, whom He foreknew. Right? Whom He foreknew. It reminds me of, that earlier in Romans, it said in Romans 8:29, for those God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son. Right? Foreknew. God has not rejected His people whom He foreknew. Right? And it goes on in verse 4, it says, God says, I have kept for myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to Baal. So 7,000 men. And then it goes on in verse 5, it says, so too, at the present time there is a remnant chosen by grace. But if it is by grace, it is no longer on the basis of works. Otherwise, grace would no longer be grace. Right? So Israel's disobedience, and then Paul comes in and says, hey, we're here, I'm here. Israelite, right? Descendant of Abraham. And then in verse 7 it says, what then? Israel failed to obtain what it was seeking. The elect obtained it. Some of this gets a little hard to understand. I think someone said that. And so it gets into, in verse 9, it talks about a stumbling block. That's that same stumbling block that you all are pretty familiar with. In 1 Corinthians, it says, Jews demand signs and Greeks look for wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolish to Gentiles. Right? Yeah. So wonderful. And then, so it goes on in verse 11. It talks about, it says, so I asked, did they stumble in order that they might fall? By no means. Rather, through their trespass, salvation has come to the Gentiles. So it's because the Israelites, they didn't want to hear it. And so Paul went to the Gentiles, so as to make Israel jealous. And we see in Acts 28, it says, therefore I want you to know that God's salvation has been sent to the Gentiles, and they will listen. Right? The Israelites wouldn't listen. It says, rather through their trespass, salvation has come to the Gentiles, so as to make Israel jealous. Right, and then Paul says it again, guys. Man. He says, now I'm speaking to you Gentiles. Inasmuch then as I am an apostle to the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry in order somehow to make my fellow Jews jealous and thus save some of them. That just reminds me of that God's jealous for our hearts, right? It's in it's in the song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 6. God is jealous for us. So, guys, my encouragement is, we're Gentiles and we're going to be grafted in. That'll be on the next part, the next section of chapter 11. Man, we can be encouraged, guys. Man, God is so jealous for us. That's just amazing, right? We're going to be grafted in. Yeah, so wonderful. You guys have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, God bless you.